Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Of you have seen our next guest's simple act of kindness. She stepped in when two people were being screamed at on a subway because a woman thought they were Muslim.
And when you see these towns, and when you see these thugs being thrown into the back of a paddy wagon, you just see them thrown in, rough. I said, please don't be too nice. Like when you guys put somebody in the car and you're protecting their head, you know, the way you put their hand up, like don't hit their head and they've just killed somebody, don't hit their head. I said, you can take the hand away, okay?
One of the most difficult tests that God Almighty has given us is Fajr prayer or
Das ist keine Anbetungswürdige. Gott gibt, außer Allah.
The Al-Aqsa Mosque, which you see behind me, is the third holiest site in Islam. But unlike the first two, it's been under Israel's occupation since 1967. And Israel completely controls both who gets to enter and pray there.
Mr. President, it's an honor to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the time.
It has been almost a year since your inauguration. Have you faced anything that you were not expecting when you took office?
I've been a politician for almost 40 years, excluding the term now. So I would say that on the national front, I was kept informed all the time by the news and of course by sources in government. Expected, but I never realized the magnitude of the contamination of the Filipinos insofar as drugs are concerned. When I became president and everything was available to me for information, I was almost appalled to know that we have reached the millions of contaminated. So when I was mayor, I said, do not destroy my city and do not destroy the young people of Davao City because they are our assets. We are not rich. Most of us are poor, and we depend on our sons and daughters to feed us when we get out. We do not have, we are not rich people. We do not have any housing here for few in between. And we need our children to buy the medicines, pay the hospitals, pay our burial, and do not corrupt them with drugs. Do not destroy their minds. And I said, because I will kill you. And I will be very clear with that. Do not destroy my country. Do not destroy our young people. Because if you do that, I will kill you. There are so many criminals walking around. Stop it. And I said, I am not a wholesale violator of human rights. I am not the police. I just give orders. But I build a country. But anything that would destroy my country is totally unacceptable to me. My orders are very clear. Go out and hunt for them, the drug lords. Arrest them if it's still possible. But if they are confronted with the violence that would place your life, the policemen or the security officer in danger, so they kill them. Because in the past, that was what really prevented policemen and the military from doing it. Why? Because they were so afraid of this human rights thing, which is a new phenomenon. It's actually the human rights, in the guise of human rights, countries like EU and America are interfering into the affairs of other nations in the guise of human rights.
The bitter irony is that while trying to protect civilians, to protect the youth, you sometimes, and you admitted that in one of your interviews, that innocent civilians could have become victims. Do you think it is a fair price to pay?
Just like in the Americans, when they drop the bomb there, so much, so powerful that it also kills others.
But you are not America. Do you feel
yeah,
sorry for?
But,
do you
but
feel
we
sorry?
are talking of human liability. So it doesn't say that because the Americans are exempted, and that's because I am just a small time government official, I am not exempted. So what's the fairness there? No. When they drop bombs, they kill so many villages, and there's not even a whimper. America invaded Iraq. What was the excuse? That there were weapons of mass destruction. And yet when they invaded Iraq, so many people were killed. So where is justice now?
So I think it's really hard to avoid
Meaning to say, justice has to be equal. It cannot be justice for one and justice for another set of standards for two. It has to be equal.
Is that the reason why you turn away from America?
Yes, because they refuse to understand my predicament when they knew that they were also in the same predicament on a larger scale. I never in America, remember Panama? Okay, they invaded Panama, a sovereign state, okay, in Central America. So what was the purpose there? They went inside, seized the country, arrested the president, brought him outside the country, placed him in a detention cell in New York. He faced a trial federal court and is convicted. What happened to the invasion? And what was the reason? Drugs. You invade a country. Me, I am just fighting the criminals in my country. I never invaded a country. You have to look at it this way. There is so much incongruity in the principles that are being followed by nations. The powerful ones, they can invent there's a weapon of mass destruction. Oh, we can invade your country. Me, I never touch anybody. I do not even go to the United States. And then they criticize me for the criminals that I have killed.
Your relations with the previous U.S. administration were far from perfect. Will you give Trump's administration a chance?
I think that Trump is very good. He's a regular guy. He's pragmatic, very practical. The previous administration was a source of irritation and source of so many conflicts, not really in terms of war, but in terms of relationships. The other administration destroyed all of this, the goodwill and even relationships with Russia and relationships with the Philippines. And it's not an easy job to be just, when there's a new guy in town, you just say everything is forgotten. They have the Congress that is not in full accord with the U.S. President. And they are just, as it is, they're still fighting right now, threatening even to impeach President.